You've just tuned into That Really Swell Podcast. The voice of all things themed entertainment.
This week's episode is brought to you in part by the following.
Muppet Vision laser surgery.
Your new eyes are just around the cornea.
Accepting new patients.
Rejecting old patients.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode number 11 of That Really Swell Podcast. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning listener / watcher, welcome back. My name is Julie. I'm your host. I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Alex, aka Mr. Maker Mouse. Alex, say hi.
Hi ho, this is Alex.
Today is a very special episode. It is our season finale. Season finale. Last one, number 11. So exciting. Okay, so before we get into it, I am going to read some comments.
We got comments?
Promise. We got comments.
Okay. Comments.
So, as I said, if you guys connect with us and leave us comments and whatnot, we'll gather a few of them and go over them in future episodes. So being that this is episode number 11, the season finale, gotta wrap it up with the comments. So, first comment is from Michael Vivaldi. Michael Vivaldi says, when the episode that we talked about Guardians of the Galaxy, or Cosmic Rewind, he says, Everybody Wants to Rule the World was the song he got for his first ride on Guardians. While it was a slow song, it balances out the chaos of the ride around you. Michael says, don't knock it till you try it.
Snap.
So
I got schooled.
It totally goes against everything that we said in that episode. Thanks, Michael. Yes, I have to try again and get that song. And then we have another comment from That 70s Space. That 70s Space wrote, I missed the alien encounter attraction, and I just found out that Tyra Banks was one of the aliens in the pre-show. I think back to the pre-show, and I knew one of those aliens looked familiar.
That's from Alien Encounter?
Alien Encounter. Yeah, in the pre-show room where it's like standing room only. There's like this big screen and blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, one of them looked very familiar, and I couldn't place it. And then after seeing that comment, I was like, oh, that was Tyra Banks.
I know the head alien guy is also the teacher from Ferris Bueller. Or principal, right?
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah, that I remembered. But
he has a name. I don't know it.
Who knows his name? I don't know.
He's done a lot of work.
And I don't even know he's the guy from Beetlejuice, right? The dad from Beetlejuice?
He was also in Stay Tuned. Do you ever watch Stay Tuned?
Yes! With John Ritter.
Yeah. I ran into that the other day. I forgot all about it. He was was he the devil in that? Or was he an assistant or something?
I don't recall. But now I feel bad because we know like all his work. Jeffrey Jones, Mr. Jeffrey Jones, I'm sorry that we did not know you by name, but we know of your work. Right. So, yeah, Tyra Banks was an alien in Alien Encounter. We get off track really easily.
Easy. No problem.
So easy. Squirrel. And then we have Michael actually left another comment on one of our videos. Okay. He says that, and this is the Back to the Future and the Simpsons episode. So Michael says the only saving grace that he has is the Blu-ray 4K copy of Back to the Future trilogy. One of the bonus features on the Back to the Future disc is the entire ride queue, the queue and the film. And Michael says he usually calls his friends over to move his couch back and forth while he watches, and it's just as real as he remembers.
Excellent. That's a great idea.
So,
you know what's
number one, get friends.
Yeah, number one, get friends. What sucks about that is that they did not up-res that video.
They left it as is, and on the box set.
I mean, they have the original video, but they didn't up-res it. Just put it on there. Whatever.
We'll just, they'll be happy. Like you say, give them the crumbs.
Give them the crumbs.
So yeah, those are our comments. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
And that 70s space for your comments. And we again, this is the season finale. And when we come back, we'll be ready to share more comments, and hopefully more of you guys will leave more comments and we'll have more fun. All right. Season finale.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. Today's show.
We
will be, it's a very special show.
Okay.
All right. Continuing our Then and Now series, or ending, wrapping it up in a nice little bow, our Then and Now series. We are going to be talking, well, actually, we're going to go to Walt Disney's MGM Studios.
Yay.
Again, MGM Studios. So we're going back to MGM Studios, and we will be discussing Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D.
Muppet Vision 3D.
In my mind, I sounded just like I sounded just like him in my head, but when it came out, I knew that.
It's the only way you can hear it. I can't hear it any other way.
Yeah, that's how it sounded like that to me. But either way, so we're discussing Muppet Vision 3D. I'm so excited because I love the Muppets, and it looks like Disney's trying to make the Muppets more relevant for today's generation, and that excites me so much because they're amazing. But I don't know. I like doing things, and Alex, you know this about me. I like doing things in a theme. And we're talking about Muppets today. Right. Usually, like, if we're talking about Disney, I'm usually wearing something Disney. If we're talking about Universal, I'm wearing something Universal, colors, things like that. But for the Muppets, I really didn't have any Muppet shirts or anything like that. So I thought we could do something cooler. So, like,
I got like a Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy Muppet babies. Should I bring them out and just hold them here?
No. Don't worry about that. I got something cooler. So we could do a little, what they call in the industry, method acting.
Oh, so like I do like my Kermit?
No impressions. 'Cause your impressions aren't that great. No.
Oh.
No, save your impressions.
But
something cooler, method acting. No, you're not going to have to do impressions. You're not going to do that because Alex and I are going to be Muppets.
What are you talking about, be Muppets?
Exactly what I said. We are going to be Muppets.
I'm not following what you mean by that exactly.
Alex and I are going to transform into Muppets with the magic of TV.
What is happening? What did you just do?
No, that's more like it.
My face. My beautiful face.
This is amazing.
What's all my floppy arms?
Oh,
they're so floppy.
I really don't see a difference.
Well, that's just cold.
Oh man, that's more like it. Let's start the show, shall we?
I guess.
Don't worry, Alex. You'll get your normal face at the end of the show.
Okay.
Don't feel bad. All right, so let's begin. We're going to go back to May 16th, 1991, and the attraction we are going to talk about is Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D.
Yay! Why did I do that? It felt so natural.
It happens. It's just an impulse when you're a Muppet. You just, when you get really excited, like, your arms start flailing and your whole body just starts like moving back and forth. It's just go with it. Anything that happens today, just go with it. You'll turn back into your normal, boring, cynical self at the end, I promise.
I don't like all this happiness.
So in the early 1990s, Disney MGM Studios was set to have its first large-scale expansion called Muppet Studios. So that never came to be.
That is so sad.
Yeah, it's like Jim Henson's passing kind of took every idea with them. Or Disney was like, no, you know what? We're not going to do that. Which makes me very sad because I think it would have been amazing.
An entire Muppet land would have been the greatest thing in the world. I've seen the concept art, and to see, it was like a mini Hollywood Studios, wasn't it?
It was and they were supposed to have the Great Muppet Movie Ride, something like that, the parody of the Great Movie Ride in there. They had some really awesome ideas. If it would have came to be, that would have been amazing. But with Jim Henson's passing, they just decide, no, we're not going to do that. Unfortunately.
Boo.
Yeah, I think it would have been so cool. Like, they have that little area, the Grand Avenue. There's so much potential there that is not tapped into, like, just anything. I think just off the top of my head, something I think of is in, like, the one of the Muppet movies. I think it is the Muppet movie or the Great Muppet Caper. I don't remember which one, but remember when Kermit got a job at that cafe with Jenny and her dad? Peoples is Peoples.
That's the Muppets Take Manhattan.
Muppets Take Manhattan, yes, I love that one. And where Rizzo and everybody works in the kitchen and stuff like that. Like, they could have done like a little cafe like that, and then, like, have little nostalgia on the walls and stuff, because like they have Rizzo's Pizza Rizzo, so they could have done something kind of like that. Peoples is Peoples. I love that guy.
That's a great idea. They should have taken more out of the movies.
Yeah.
And if it has to be a restaurant or a store, fine. Like they did with the what's the Muppet shop called?
Which one?
Like the merchandise shop there.
They took that out. It's not really like Muppet stuff. They had like some t-shirts and stuff.
Right, but when it was there, it had a Muppet Babies theme.
Muppet Babies, the nursery and stuff on one end, and the Muppet Show on the other end.
Right, and the Muppet Show.
Like the dressing rooms and stuff. I think they still have the Muppet Show part, but the Muppet Babies area is gone. That's not there anymore. Like, there's so much that could have been done. And they have the Christmas shop in there. You could transform that into like Muppets Family Christmas. Like on the outside, have the snowman, the comedian snowman on the outside with Fozzie or something, like, and if you want little decor on the inside or props, you can have like the Muppets, because I know they can like make them. You can have the Muppets hanging from hammocks like they do in the Muppet Family Christmas, because they run out of bedrooms. So they just start like putting hammocks all over the house. Like, you could have that and still sell your merch. Like, there's so much potential for that area.
After what we've seen with, I was going to say Star Wars Land because after what we've seen with Galaxy's Edge and their shops. And they have animatronics in the stores. They've never done that before.
Yeah, they have the technology. So you don't even need technology for Muppets. You just need Muppets, and props. That's all. Muppets and props. That's all. Very cheap. They could do it. I'm hoping, I still hold on to hope, because they are doing a lot more with the Muppets franchise. They're bringing them back. They keep creating shows. They're making movies and stuff. They're making merchandise. So I'm hoping that because of that, they will like maybe expand somewhere or create something somewhere where they have more Muppet stuff, because I mean, Pizza Rizzo's it's been there for years. It's newer in the area, so I'm hoping they like expand on that idea, like keep bringing Muppet stuff back, like.
Do they have space in that area to move back?
I
think they do.
don't know. I know Galaxy's Edge is off to the side. They probably have space like behind Mama Melrose and things like that to expand back in that area, maybe. But yeah, I don't know, but I know that they can, like, very minimal, take what they have there now and just transform it into Muppet stuff. So I'm going to read something from DisneyWorld.com. Welcome to Muppet Studios. Take your seat in a perfect replica of the Muppet Theater from the classic television series The Muppet Show. As the curtain rises, Kermit, Miss Piggy, and the whole Muppets menagerie appear in eye-popping 3D. They're taking you on a zany tour of their lab and showing off their new movie-making invention, Muppet Vision 3D.
Welcome to Muppet Vision 3D!
All right, here goes.
The attraction incorporates 3D film along with 4D effects, and the attraction has Alex's favorite Muppet.
Don't say his name.
Sweetums.
Oh.
Sweetums actually comes out in full costume. You see him. He is gigantic. He is fluffy.
He's terrifying.
He's
going to throw me in the basement and bite me.
He comes out and he walks around the front of the theater, and it's just so cool seeing an actual Muppet. So just like you've seen, if you know the Muppets and you've seen Sweetums in any of the movies, he looks exactly the same.
Oh, hey, everybody! I don't see a rabbit!
It's terrifying.
Yeah. I don't see him as terrifying, but it's cool seeing Sweetums come out and do his thing. So the Muppet Vision show actually was one of the final Muppet projects that involved Jim Henson, because unfortunately, sadly, Henson died in 1990 before the production of the film could be completed. If you are in the Disney community and you are a fan of the Muppets, mainly people that are closer in age to Alex and I, because we grew up on this stuff, we're kind of scared they're going to remove the Muppets at some point.
Well, they've already changed the name of the theater. It still has the Muppet marquee on it, but they gave it an official theater name. And they did that in California. And then, I don't know.
Hoping that Disney does not remove them, because it's just a nostalgia that, like, it's nice having them in Hollywood studios.
It's like wearing a nice pair of comfortable socks with a nice warm banana in each one.
So you get that warm and squishy feeling. Okay, so in the area, Grand Avenue, where the Muppets are located right now, the restaurant, there's two restaurants in there, one being Mama Melrose, an Italian sit-down restaurant that requires reservations. The other one is a counter service, which used to be Toy Story's Pizza Planet. They changed it to Pizza Rizzo. So, like, they make these little teeny tiny changes that give me hope that the Muppets are gonna, last a little bit longer every time they make some sort of change, but then you never know.
It's almost like a distraction plan. Let's switch this over here. And while they're looking at this, remove the rest of it!
I was terrified when Galaxy's Edge came around, because if you know anything about current Hollywood studios, you have Star Tours, which has been there forever, and then you walk a little bit further down and you have Muppet Vision 3D in Grand Avenue, and then you walk further down and that's where they put Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So when Galaxy's Edge came about, I was like, wait a minute, you have Galaxy's Edge, Grand Avenue, and then Star Tours. It only makes sense I'm not saying they should do this, but I'm just thinking logically to remove Grand Avenue and make that something else Star Wars, so that it's like a whole Star Wars area, right?
Right.
I think, what are they going to do with Grand Avenue and, Muppet Vision 3D and the whole Muppet area there? So, with Galaxy's Edge being there, I kind of am, I lose a little bit of hope every single day, but I'm still hopeful they will keep it, or if not, move it somewhere else. If we can't keep it in that location, just relocate it,
It's currently like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Where you have fantastic Italian bread on either side. And in between, you've got your ham.
Meatballs.
No. Cheese.
Mozzarella cheese.
No. Grasshoppers.
Oh!
And spaghetti noodles.
What? Is Muppets the grasshoppers?
And the spaghetti noodles.
Oh my gosh.
And eventually, they're going to want to make a new sandwich. I don't know what I'm talking about. This Muppet body is making me crazy.
Weird. So it's out of place. It really is. And right now it's out of place. It was fine before, but now that Galaxy's Edge is there, it's out of place. But I'm hoping that Disney keeps it, or if not, relocates it, or has a plan with the Muppets, because of the fact, one, it was Jim Henson's one of his last projects. So that, it means a lot, it has that attached to it. And I have high hopes for it, because Disney keeps popping out Muppet stuff here and there. So they're trying to make Muppets relevant again. And having said that, I hope that they keep the attraction, or maybe even move it somewhere else. I don't know.
They'll probably just turn it into Star Wars, a Muppet story.
But then they would have to redo the film.
They just put costumes on them. Like Kermit could be Luke.
I'm going to need you to submit that idea to Disney, because that's a way of keeping it cohesive, appealing to the guests.
It'd be terrible for the Muppets, though. Kermit has to sell out and just dress like Vader.
Why does he have to be Vader? So the attraction was also in Disney's California Adventure location. It closed in November 1st, 2014, and it was supposed to be a temporary closure, but in May 2015, Disney confirmed the closure was permanent. So if they could do it in California Adventure, what's stopping them from doing it in Orlando?
Absolutely nothing.
It scares me. So yeah, unfortunately, it never came back in Disney's California Adventure. So if you want to experience the Muppets and Muppet Vision 3D, you have to go to Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida.
And you better hurry up.
No, don't say that. We don't know. We don't know. Nothing was mentioned at D23. It's safe for at least another year.
They didn't mention a lot of things at D23.
Well, I'm hoping that no news is good news, right? So I'm hoping they're safe for another year or so.
If they only knew.
Oh, geez.
Forward!
In 2004, Disney acquired the Muppets, and it was another notch on their belt of many, many things that they have purchased in recent years. So Disney owned the Muppets, and when that happened, Jim Henson's name was removed from the building's original sign. So,
ouch.
Jeez. Bro, he worked on that project. Why would you do that?
Jim's gone. It's his. Get out the power scrubber.
The Muppet.
Get the weed whacker. Chop the name off.
I don't know why it just seems so insensitive to me. Jim Henson is the Muppets. So yeah, they had new signage, and Jim Henson's name was not there anymore. So in the entrance, once you walk into the building of Muppet Vision 3D, if you look up, there's an archway, and there's a sign above the archway saying you must be shorter than this to enter. And then you see the archway, something hit it right underneath that sign. It looks like someone actually hit it.
It was probably that weirdo Sweetums.
Sweetums? So it was probably him.
Oh, hey, an archway!
Ouch!
In the California Adventure attraction, there was a tiny little note next to that sign that said, ow. They put that in California Adventure because
Yeah.
somebody apparently had hurt themselves. And something else that's super cool is in the Muppet Vision 3D, when you're going in the queue, there's a little window. It says be back in like 5 minutes. Whoever it was at the window like left and took a break. There's
Yeah.
a note that says the key is under the mat. If you go and pick up the mat, underneath it, there's an actual key
Yeah.
in there. It's so funny because like it's one of those things like it's a kind of an immersive thing, right? Because you go in and you're going into the studios, and then you know, the office window is there and everything just looks so real, like you're going in there and you can actually lift up the mat and see the key under there. So little things like that that you normally would not pay attention to. I always like that. I thought that was pretty neat. When you're walking down the hallway, on either side of you, there are dressing room doors, and you see like posters and things like that. And then you go into the pre-show area is this giant room filled with props.
Oh, yeah.
From like Muppet movies and the Muppet Show and everything like that. And it's just so cool and nostalgic. Like, and when I mean filled with props, I mean filled with props.
To the brim, everywhere.
Every wall, you know, all four corners have props. When you look up
to the ceiling,
there are props hanging everywhere in there. It is awesome. They have like the pigs in space, spaceship. They actually have this one's not on hanging from the ceiling, but they have Miss Piggy's trunks full of her wardrobe and her clothes. And as you can imagine, they are massive.
Yeah.
They are pink.
To fill her massive ego.
It's like a museum of sorts, because you also have Kermit's tuxedo from one of the Muppet movies. There's a picture, there's like a plaque, and then it has his tuxedo like actual size, and it's super cool, like just seeing everything in there. So if pre-shows aren't your thing and you don't want to sit there and watch the actual like show,
how can a pre-show not be your thing?
Some people don't care. Some people don't want to see that.
So weird.
There's a lot to look at in there, and it's really cool. But if pre-shows aren't your thing, I really suggest to watch this pre-show because it is so funny.
There's so much in even the smallest of details. The first one that always comes to mind is like right at the beginning of the pre-show. So you have 3 monitors hanging in front of you, and the Muppets are walking from one screen to the other.
Yeah.
And the screens, all 3 of them are separated, but they can walk through all 3 screens. And the first thing they do is they elevate up the Muppet Vision 3D sign in the video. But they're using a construction crew. So the one that they have pulling everything up, his name is Chuck. And so as he's pulling on the rope to pull the sign up, they're yelling orders at him, or barking orders at him. So they have to repeatedly tell him to pull the sign up. So like, Chuck, up Chuck, up Chuck. Every time I hear up Chuck, I'm just giggling.
My favorite is so there's this number that they have these puppets sing by the light, by the silvery moon, right? So there's 3 of them, 3 female puppets, but one of them.
The 3Ds is
yes, 3D, the 3Ds, and then one of them comes, and then you're expecting another female puppet to be the third one, and they're like, "What happened?" And I guess it's a male puppet, like as grungy as you could think. He says that she called out sick, or the union sent him, and he's wearing like
I'm Max. Debbie was sick today. The union called me.
And then Fozzie repeats the line, trying to explain it to Scooter why the third part of the 3D, the 3Ds is not a female.
That is, oh man, I love it. I like that, and then that one is one of my favorite parts, and then after that, Sam Eagle. Like every time Sam Eagle comes on the screen, it's just hilarious to me. So they're telling everybody, once the doors open, you have to walk into the theater in an orderly fashion, because not walking in an orderly fashion is unpatriotic.
Yeah.
It is strictly unpatriotic.
So he says that, and then all the like a bunch of, like Alex was saying, the Muppets can go from one monitor to the next. So once he says that and he gives the okay for everybody to start walking, he gets like there's a stampede of Muppets like, and they're like oh man, it's so funny. I love that part.
We're almost ready, Sam.
Oh, fine. Okay, thank you, Scooter. Now, the performers will all go in the theater first, and then you, the audience, will be admitted. All right, performers, let us enter in an orderly fashion and provide an example. Will somebody please take over?
The pre-show is just hilarious. I mean, you don't really have to be a Muppet fan to enjoy it, but at least you have to have some sort of sense of humor.
Yes.
Because you have to, because the
If
joke...
you're stuffy and uppity,
no, it's not for you.
don't even waste your time.
If you know how to live, please experience Muppet Vision 3D. What is your favorite part of Muppet Vision 3D?
Oh.
If you had to pick one, or you can say a couple of them.
I'm going to have to go really general and broad and say the gags.
Yeah.
The gags that lead you to the next gag.
Can you explain one?
Well, sure. Like in the pre-show where you have Fozzie saying that all the penguins need to go to rehearsal and all the penguins go up because they're going to perform the music. And all the penguins start, they start going through. And then a chicken comes through. And he's like, hold on. You're not a penguin, you're a chicken. And then he asks the question, why did this chicken cross the road? And then the chicken replies, ah, that's funny. Hey, penguins, I got a joke for you.
He's so cute. Yeah. And then it's cool because
So
when you
it's
walk...
just the setup to get to that gag. It's so good. Everything is so good.
But then,
And
and you see the penguins when you go in the theater, like the orchestra is the penguin. So it's like, you know, it continues on and you see like
so
the end part.
they're in the monitors and you see them walking off to the right in the monitors. But then when you get to the theater and you sit down, they show up as animatronics on the stage. That's great storytelling. It continues all the way through.
Anything else that sticks out to you in the...
I mean, I guess the rest of it would be in the theater itself with Waldorf and Statler, where he goes,
Hey, Walter, check out the guy in the goofy mask. That's not a mask. Oh, sorry, lady.
Sorry, lady!
There's so much in that one little sentence. That was a lady who was so ugly, he thought it was
terrible.
a dude with a mask, with a goofy mask.
They are terrible. And yes, Statler and Waldorf are there, and they are there in animatronic form.
In their box seats.
In their box seats.
Just like in the Muppet Show.
They are watching the show with you. They have their 3D glasses and they are watching the entire show with you. So they are part of the audience. Statler and Waldorf are. The other animatronic, well, we have the Sweetums actual Muppet.
Hey, there's also so throughout the show, I don't know how far into the film you're gonna get, but Fozzie is so excited to be there to show gags on film in 3D that he walks up with his squirting flour. He squirts his flour from the film, and we in the audience get squirted with actual water. And then Waldorf and Statler are like, he's trying to drown us. What kind of act is that? An act of mercy.
We've gone to this attraction a lot of times.
A few times. Just a few times.
Just a few. Yeah, there's a lot of gags like that will happen on screen, but at the same time it happens to us, the guests in the audience, which is cool.
And that's why sometimes they call the ride Muppet Vision 4D.
4D, yeah, it's like interchangeable 3D, 4D. I don't know which one is which at whatever point. And then there's another part where Miss Piggy is singing, and then like in the movie of the attraction, there's bubbles that are in there, and then there's it's weird because like everything is your perception is off. You have your 3D glasses, so you're watching it and there's bubbles on the screen, but then like you feel like, and you see little bubbles in front of you, like, man, this 3D is amazing, but it's actual bubbles are falling from the ceiling. So that's another
Stars shining bright above you. Small breezes seem to whisper, I love you.
birds singing in the sycamore tree.
Dream a little dream of me.
And then,
I love that little.
that little ha there is Piggy. Was she kicking Bean?
Kicking Bean Bunny because he wants to participate.
Yeah,
in her song.
He just
in her
wants to be
musical number.
included. He just wants to be included. Poor Bean. And Bean Bunny is another animatronic that is that you'll find in the theater opposite Statler and Waldorf. So like you're sitting in the theater facing the screen. To the right, you have Statler and Waldorf in their box seats. All the way to the left on the other side is Bean Bunny animatronic. And then we have another animatronic that comes in toward the end, which is Swedish Chef.
You're in the strip at Meatball Street and Gertie.
Yeah, not a lot of people know about the Swedish Chef one because he's all the way in the back, and it's one of those things that like you have to turn around and look at, which not everybody does. They just stay watching the screen in front of them. But
He's operating the projector that's showing the film, and he's literally up there. You have to turn around to see him.
all right, you have to turn around, and he's like one of the other animatronics there. He has the projector, and he also has a giant cannon. Yeah. What is that?
Since I'm officially a Muppet now, I thought I'd try out Fozzie's floating pie trick. Check this out. Watch.
What in the
Oops.
Oh my gosh. Who's gonna clean this? Who is gonna clean this? You see what happens when we do shenanigans?
Sorry.
So there's two parts in the film that I really like. One of them is Kermit is taking you throughout the studios, and he's like, we invited scientists all over the world to come and work with us, but none of them showed up. Like when you're first experiencing that and you're watching it, and you're like, oh wow, all these prestigious scientists are gonna come, but poor Kermit's like, none of them showed up.
And he says it so nonchalantly, like.
And then my other favorite is when they're getting ready for the big finale part. And then Kermit asks Sam Eagle if he's ready for the finale. And then Sam is like, it's a glorious 3-hour finale. And then Kermit's like, you got a minute and a half? I feel so bad because poor Sam always gets dumped on. He's trying to be his patriotic self. And, because at the end, there's like a lot of fireworks.
Sam, are you about ready?
Yes, it's a glorious 3-hour finale.
You got a minute and a half.
And then a lot of the chaos was caused by Waldo.
Waldorf.
It's Waldo.
Waldo? Like, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Really?
Waldo, the spirit of 3D.
Okay, I know why I was thinking Waldorf, like Statler and Waldorf. That's why I was getting them confused.
Right.
Okay, he's Waldo,
Yeah.
the spirit of 3D.
What was cool about that, so now, technology-wise, that's a 3D animated character in the film, but he was still operated as a Muppet.
No.
Because the Henson had a technology where they could animate a mechanical puppet head, and then that information would get translated into a computer, and it would operate the 3D animated character.
That's why it
on
looks so
screen.
cool.
What we're doing is we're using it to create the picture of Waldo on the computer screen over there. But now normally Steve Whitmire, one of our chief puppeteers, is operating this guy, but I'll just do it to demonstrate it. And over here we have Rex Grignon, who is our computer animator. Okay, and what Rex is doing is he's taking these moves that I'm doing with my hand, and converting it into Waldo on the screen there, see?
Neat!
And the really great thing is that the computer does it all in real time. As Jim moves his hand around in the puppet, the image of Waldo flies around on the screen, too.
So it's like Mr. Henson is working a puppet, but what you get is a moving television picture.
And it's cool because he was a new character in the Muppets world. Yeah, the Muppet Vision 3D is so good.
That attraction attacks all the senses. At the end, because of the chaos, and because the Swedish chef is upset at something that occurs throughout the film, he blows up the entire theater. You walk into this pristine theater, it's perfectly
Beautiful.
fine, a grand, glorious theater, beautiful golds and reds. And then by the end of it, there's holes in the walls, literal holes. There's smoke everywhere. He blows it up. And then they go into another dimension, reality, and then they bring out a live action actor in Sweetums, which freaks me out every single time because they turn the lights off. Everything's dark, and he's running around with a flashlight, this 8-foot hairball with a mouth the size of a Buick. Hey, everybody!
Bunny?
He's over there.
I don't see you, Bunny. I'm just gonna eat Alex, because he looks tasty. I'm gonna shine this flashlight in his face so he can't see when I swallow him.
Oh, it is so much fun. Oh my god.
Anybody seen a bunny?
I see one!
I don't see a bunny. Where?
There!
Where?
Up there!
Oh, nothing up there but a bunny. A bunny? Bean!
Hi, sweetie.
Hey, Kermit, look! What?
Okay, so it's the part of the episode that everybody's been waiting for, especially me. You know what that is, Alex?
So you telling me that along with being forcefully transformed into a Muppet, I now have to answer questions as a Muppet in the little segment that you like to say,
I have trivia! Muppet Trivia. It's time for Muppet Trivia. Yay! Are you ready, Muppet Alex?
sure.
This is the best. Okay. Question number 1. Are you familiar with the song Moving Right Along, la 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 la? No?
Not entirely. I know a little bit of the chorus.
Okay. I'm not asking, I'm just saying if you're familiar. I'm not
Okay.
asking you to recite and sing the whole song. Okay, so Kermit and Fozzie are in the Studebaker and they sing Moving Right Along, and they're driving on the highway and they see someone. This someone was another Muppet. Which Sesame Street character has a cameo in the Moving Right Along sequence?
They did a lot of cameos, but is it Big Bird?
It was Big Bird. The answer was Big Bird, Alex. Yes, you got 100. So excited. You're doing great so far.
Big Bird performed and voiced by Carol Spinney.
Okay, next question. Pepe, the Muppet.
You mean the guy who talks like this?
Yes, that's Pepe.
You know?
What kind of crustacean is Pepe?
He's a specific kind of shrimp, and I cannot remember the kind of shrimp he is.
He makes it a point to say it
does.
every chance he gets. Do you give up?
I'm sorry, Pepe. All I have is shrimp. Okay?
No, not okay. It is Pepe the King Prawn. Pepe's the King Prawn.
And don't forget it.
With a big old gold necklace. Okay, final question. This question is a multiple choice.
Yay!
For the first time in forever.
I'm going to the Happiness Hotel.
Okay, hold on. Now I have to stop. What are your options? A.
Oh. A, credit card. B, cash. C, sneak out in the middle of the night.
We'll take C.
Very popular choice.
Popular choice. Oh man, such a good movie. I'm gonna have to watch that now. If you've never seen the movie, you have no idea what we're talking about. All right, so the question is, which Muppet was not originally performed by Jim Henson himself? Okay. A, Kermit. B, Guy Smiley from Sesame Street. C, Ernie from Sesame Street. Or D, Miss Piggy.
Well, I mean, Miss Piggy. Yeah, because he did everybody else.
Is that your final answer? Then yes. The answer is Miss Piggy, performed by Frank Oz, who also performed Fozzie Bear, Yoda, Sam Eagle, Bert, Animal.
Mm-hmm.
So he had his hands in a lot. But yes, the answer was Miss Piggy.
And he's also an accomplished director. He's directed many features that we've enjoyed.
Yes, Frank Oz is amazing. But yeah, that was the answer. Good job. You got a B minus.
B minus? It could be a solid B plus.
You couldn't get the king prawn.
It's still a shrimp.
All right. B plus. You couldn't get the king prawn, but I'm sure you know that now.
Yeah, until next time.
Until next time.
Okay, great. Listen.
Yeah.
We done?
No, not yet. Okay. So it's fine. It's gonna be fine. I promise. You'll turn back to yourself soon.
How did you even do that?
Muppet magic. You don't even need to ask. All right. So we want to hear from you. You can find us on our socials. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and also.
And soon to be in technology that beams directly into your head.
What? We are on, let's say, most of your streaming music apps. So yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun in today's episode. Did you have fun, Alex?
I had fun until the moment that I was no longer human. What is that? Did you look down? What?
No, rule number 1 of being a Muppet, you should never look down.
Who are you?
Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, whatever
Wait,
you
change me back.
do it swell.
I don't want this. No, change me back.